Okay, we'll see if that happens. Okay, so we'll start with a warm up. That will include both balance and stretching. Could people do a thumbs up if you can hear me okay? Good, okay, glad to hear that. Or see that. You can hear me. Okay, here we go. So, we're going to start with some basics. So, start at your feet. Feet on the floor, hip width apart. Check in that the feet are facing straight ahead. Firm up your seat, your belly, your urinary muscles. And that'll help hold the feet straight if that's an issue for you. Okay, and then kind of balance. Make sure your weight is equal in both feet. So a little shift, and then when you end up centered, just notice that the weight is equal in both feet. Now can you raise your toes? I know you have shoes on, but you may have space in there to lift the toes. And now your weight is mainly on the ball and the heel of your foot. Kind of feel that and try to get the weight equal between the ball and the heel of your foot, and then just place your toes down by keeping that feeling of equal weight front to back in your foot. Now we're going to squeeze all those core muscles a little tighter. As we hold that, breathe in and out through your nose and feel your chest lifting on the inhale. Breath in, chest lifting, shoulders fall back, a breath out. Tight squeeze in your core muscles, a breath in and out. And one more time, that breath in, chest lifting and opening and out. Okay, we're going to keep this extra tight squeeze in seat, urinary, belly. Go over to one side and then use these core muscles to pull yourself up, and we'll go over to the other side. We're dangling this arm right along the side seam. Use the core to muscle back to center. And over, and muscling up, and over, and muscling up. So now we've really used those core muscles for a while. Let's relax a little. And we're going to use the arms and do a rotation to one side and a rotation to the other side as we kind of reach front and back. And now we're more like the core is still contracting, just not as much. As we get some rotation, looking to each side. Okay, and then we're going to bring both arms back. And now a more firm contraction, seat, urinary, and belly. And we're going to inhale and look to one side. Exhale to the center. Inhale, other side. Exhale to the center. Inhale. This is working on neck flexibility. Exhale to the center. And inhale. And back to the center. Okay, we have our core partway contracted. Let's do a big backward arm circle. And we're going to settle again with the arms pulling back. So I have my arms way in back of me, and I've let my shoulders move back also. So I'm really wide through the collarbones. I'm going to add my core. Now I'm going to circle my face. More working on flexibility of the neck. And then the other way, being sure to breathe in and out as we circle, arms pulling back. Okay, and then let's go ahead. We're gonna now take a breath in and reach up with one hand, reach up with the other hand. Think of stretching the sides of the waist and the rib cage, really giving a good stretch. Okay, we'll bring the arms down to the sides, and then we're gonna lean over and do a big stretch. As I stretch on this side, I'm gonna bend that same knee so my hip can drop a little and I'm gonna feel extra stretch. Straighten the legs, come to the center. Let's go to the other side. Reach up, and on that same side, bend that knee a little, and then you just feel that hip drop and a little extra stretch in the side of the body. And then straighten the legs, come back to the center, and let's do a breath in. Bend the elbows, a breath out, pulling the elbows back so they're actually behind you a little, a breath in. And now we'll bring the arms all the way down, a breath out. Circle the shoulders back, think of relaxing your neck. Jostle your head if you need to get the neck relaxed. Okay, now we're gonna do some toe rises. You wanna be within reach of your chair. And once again, before we start, we're gonna do a very tight core contraction. That's seat, urinary belly. And then what I want you to do is lift your toes. Feel the weight evenly side to side and evenly front to back in your foot. And then just place your toes back down and think of, as we do the toe rises, try at this point not to use your toes. They want to curl up and help. We're gonna try it without much help from the toes. Try up and down a few times, just keeping your toes placed in your shoes, but toes not so involved in the lifting and lowering. And we'll try to slow it down. Tight in here will really help with your balance with that. Okay, and let's all together now, slowly up, a pause, and slowly down. Slowly up, a pause, and down. And now this time use your toes. Slowly up, a pause, and down. It's usually a little easier. And then down. And then let's bend both knees. Heels stay down. Shoulders staying back over your hips. Okay. All right, now we're going to do some deep breaths. You want to be where you have space for your arm to move behind your chair. And we'll go up to the toes. A breath in, a breath out. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay. Now we're going to bring the arms out, and we want to be a little behind the chair. We're going to just kick to the side. And we want to do that with a side bend. So we're going to go over to the side and kick out and come up. And over and a side bend. So this is more of a strengthener for the side body than a stretch, which our usual side bend is a stretch. But this one, we're thinking of strengthening in the side of the body and out. And let's do a breath in, bend the elbows, breathe out, pull back, breathe in, arms coming down. Big backward arm circle. Trying to keep the shoulders and the neck relaxed. Okay, kind of a new movement. This is kind of like a front crawl, but using the whole body. So to go, just swoop an arm down, swoop. Use your whole body, bend your knees, pull in your belly, tighten the seat, and feel how you use a lot of muscles throughout the abdomen to make that happen if you focus on those muscles. Okay, and then we're just going to bring our arms out to the sides. You want to be within reach of your chair. We'll bring the arms forward, and we're going to do a seat kick as we raise the arms. So one leg at a time, keeping your knees close together, heel toward your seat, heel toward your seat, heel, and if you can do that, keeping the legs pretty close together, point your toe when you get up there. Makes it a little harder, more work for the back of the thigh, where we'd like to strengthen while we're loosening the knee. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll bring the arms out, a breath in, a breath out. Circle back. Okay, and we're going to go to some more serious balance. Let's start with seeing if you could stand on one leg and lift the knee. You're within reach of your chair. If you use the chair, just think of a light touch, 1 or 2 fingers, and down. Let's go to the other side. And the chair is there. That's for the light touch, 1 or 2 fingers, and down. Let's see if we can do that with a back arm circle on the opposite side. So that lift, big back arm circle, and then as we return to the ground, lightly and softly, other side, a lift, big backward arm circle, and lightly down. We'll do each side again. Trying to find things that are enough of a challenge where you do it with a light touch or maybe without. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. This time, we're going to reach up and go to the toes. A breath in, a breath out, a breath in, a breath out. Okay, and from here, we're going to a back lunge. So coming back to the ball of the foot behind, and we're going to go ahead and bend both knees, and now add your core. Seat, urinary and belly, and we're going to go ahead and do a nudge. So it's been a while. The lunges are something I think over 2 weeks, you can kind of lose those muscles a bit. So we'll kind of take it easy with those, okay? We'll step forward and we're going to step back with the other foot. Flat foot in front, ball of the foot behind, checking to keep the shoulders back, adding the core. Hips are square, and we'll nudge. Front, weight is in the front heel, to keep that in mind, to protect the knee. Okay, and let's step forward. Let's do that again on each side, so you can just stay right next to your chair. I'm just turning so you can see better what I'm doing. Back to the ball of the foot. Okay. I'm going to think of contracting my core and then giving a few little lifts off the ground. Okay, then I'm going to reach up and I'm going to lean forward. Forward, forward, reaching straight out, and then a lift to involve some more core muscles. And to reach, reach, reach. Weight in the front heel as we do that. Okay, and then step forward, and I'm going to go to do this on the other side. So a step back, you're right next to the chair, so the chair is within reach. Bend both knees, get my alignment, get my core contraction, get my weight in my front heel. Okay, I'm going to bring my arms up. Inhale, kind of exhale, reach forward, inhale, come up. And one more time, exhale, reach forward, inhale, come up, and a step forward. Now I'm going to bend again to stretch in the back of the calf. Okay, let's go ahead, stretch the upper chest, or reach forward, a pull back, and I have my palms face each other, a pull back, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and I'm going to do a few forward lunges, kind of getting the legs used to those lunges again. And from here, we're going to step to the front to a flat foot, come on the ball of the back foot, and bend the knees. I'm just going to bring my hands forward, bend one elbow back at a twist and look to the side, and then the other side. I'm trying to keep the weight in the front heel. I'm going to swing my arms to help me come back. And then I'm going to do a front lunge on the other side. You can stay right next to your chair where you can reach it, because the lunges are about balance also. Step forward, weight in the front heel. My hips were twisted, so I'm going to straighten them. Add my seat, urinary, and belly. Okay. I'm doing that bow and arrow on each side. A look, and forward. A look to the other side, and forward. I'm going to swing back and bring my feet together. Okay, our reintroduction to lunging. Let's take a breath in, a breath out, and we're going to practice a kneel at the side of the chair. And I'm thinking of later in the class when we're going to be going on the floor. So just in case you haven't been on the floor for a few weeks, what we want to do, stand right next to the chair, and this we go with a back lunge to the ball of the foot, and then you can use the chair or you can use your knee or whatever you can get away with, and we just try to bend the knees till the back knee goes to the floor very gently or close. You don't have to go all the way if it doesn't work for you. And then we come up, and one more time, because the first time is not always as successful as the second time. Okay, and let's step forward and we'll try it the other way. Toe back, coming down, and up, and down, and up, and step forward. So just keeping those muscles strong. Okay, now that we're done that kind of warm up, we're ready to go for impacts. So hopefully, if you have bone density issues, you did 150 impacts in each leg, 5 days a week, using some good music. I'm going to use the march today. And you want to get it on a fairly firm surface. To remember, most of what we do is stomping, and then we add variation. But with the stomp, you lift 8 or 9 inches, come down firmly, and the force is felt in the heel. That's to transmit the force up to your hip. It also protects your foot. If you're too much repetitive force in the forefoot, there's a lot of small bones up there, but the heel is a big, strong block of bone. We want to land there. Okay, so here comes some music. Let's give a few kicks. Down. jog. See if you can lift the knees, those 8 or 9 inches. Okay, that would meet anyone's daily requirement for impacts there. Just remember, it's 5 days a week if you do have some loss of bone density. Okay, we're going to come now to the front of the chair, and we're going to get ready to sit. I think today we'll do it without any equipment in our hands. Okay, so you want to be in front of your chair. You want your feet hip width apart and your toes straight ahead. I think it's good to start thinking of weight equal in both feet. Check that your chair is right behind you. Okay, I'm going to turn my chair a little so you can see a little better. Okay, and we just start by bending the knees. Keep the knees separated as far as the feet. Touch your chair to make sure you're there, and then a little lift to flatten the back, pull in the belly, even contract your seat. And then you can use your chair if needed. We want to slowly lower, working at that controlled lowering to the chair. And then to come up. Let's go down, down, down. We're going to pause. That's kind of a strength maneuver to be able to pause there. And then real slowly to the chair. Takes a lot of muscle control. And if you have trouble getting up, it helps if you really reach yourself forward. And you can use the chair if you need. But one of those skills you use all the time, every day, that getting up and down. You want to be able to do it smoothly, strongly, and in a coordinated way. For bone density, I recommend 10 to 15 squats and lifts per day. So if you can, maybe every time you go to sit down, like at your kitchen table, do 5 up and downs. So you can spread that out. Very good for balance, very good for strength, very good for bone density. Let's go ahead and take a breath in, a breath out, breath in, a breath out. Okay? All right, so now we'll do some variation. As we reach forward, we're going to make a point. We're going to reach out with our hands and hinge at the hips. So my back is still pretty straight. I get lifted. I'm going to pull back and reach and come up and pull back and reach. Hips back, still gazes forward. Belly in, really kind of feel the core working extra hard, slowly down. A breath in and out, halfway up, a breath in and out, a breath in and out. Big backward arm circle. Circle back. And we're going to try a little rotation to involve the abdomen. So you can always simplify and do the, say your knees separate. If your knees separate, you want to keep working on your basic squat. But if you're able to keep your knees separated and land softly, let's try a little rotation. I'm going to look to the side, go part way down. I'm going to look to the other side as I rotate and go the rest of the way down. Okay, I'm going to look to the side, other way, and lift. Look to the side the other way and come up. A little side look, part way down, and a little swish, get that rotation, and the rest of the way down. Okay, nicely done. And a big backward arm circle, and let's do a breath in with the jump and a breath out, and we're going to take our shoes off. You'll want to have your ball nearby at this point. Is after we do some work on the feet. So this work on the feet is very let me say one of the central exercises to what we do is working on the feet and the ankles, keeping them strong and flexible. So let's go ahead. Let's start with the back stretcher first. So I'm halfway forward in the chair. So I'm not leaning back unless my neck or my back starts to hurt. Then I can scooch back. But for now, I want to stay up here because then my core muscles work. I'm going to sit up straight. I'm going to lift a knee, grab, and pull. And as I pull, I also straighten my spine. And I feel the flexion in the hip, some stretch in the seat. And then I'm going to really pull my belly in and let go and float the leg down. Keep the belly pulled in. I'm going to grab my other leg, a pull, a nice back strengthening, pulling the belly in strongly. I'm going to let go and float the leg down. So it's really a combination of flexibility, stretch, but then this strengthening part with the belly really contracted where we lift and lower. Belly in, and we're going to come down. And now going to the feet. Feet are flat, feet are separated, knees are separated, maybe 8 inches. Circle the shoulders up, back and down, and then squeeze your seat, urinary and belly, and we're going to come to the ball of the foot, and then curl your toes to the tippy toes. And then we'll float it down up to the ball of the foot, and then that curl of the toes. All the while I'm keeping my wide shoulders, this real openness through the upper chest, and slowly down. So this, we're working on strengthening in the ankles and the feet. So ball of the foot, curl to the toes, and then floating it down. Ball of the foot, curl to the toes. This is a good time to remember the core and the widening of the shoulders, and coming down. Okay, now we're going to pedal. And as we pedal, you go way up to that tippy toe. Back and forth, so every time getting that strong squeeze in the arch of the foot, and it's slow, muscular, coordinated, smooth, not quick. Just really get that maximum contraction in the foot each time you push up. Okay? Now we're going to involve some more of the core. So we're halfway forward in the chair, as long as your back or your neck doesn't hurt. I'm going to reach out, pull back, and then just lower my hands to widen my shoulders. And I'm going to pull my belly in to get rid of that arch in the small of the back. Got to hold that belly in, and now I'm going to add my seat and urinary muscles, and I'm going to slowly lift and point, lift and point. Keep your neck down a little to avoid neck tension. You want the work in the belly and the thighs as we slowly lift and lower. Okay, now we're going to lift, hold, so really reinforce back, belly, seat, urinary, and we're going to circle in the ankle one way. You know, these postural muscles are for endurance, so we're really forcing them to stay contracted for a while as we circle in the ankle both ways and down. Let's go to the other side. Point, endurance muscles, reinforce those, and circle one way slowly, carefully, trying to get a big ankle motion, and then we'll go the other way. This is about smooth movement, big movement, muscular movement in those ankles. Okay, let's relax the back after those vigorous leg lifts. Give a pull on the low back. We'll lean down, flat back, and then curl, tuck your chin, and unroll. And then again, leaning down, really flexing at the hips, and curl, and straighten. Okay. And now we're going to scoot back in the chair because we're going to work on the knees and the ankles some more. So let's work on the knees where we kick out and fully straighten along with a good belly contraction. And then we'll leave about, and now we're going to flex and extend in the ankles. So let's pedal, real strong point and real strong flexion, and alternate belly in, allowing you to keep those knees straight as we go back and forth. Really strong point and strong ankle flexion there. So just going back and forth. Okay, then let's do both together. Point, point, point. Flex, flex, flex. Even pull your toes towards your face. Point, point, point. Flex, flex, flex. Keep them flexed. We're going to touch the heels and touch the toes. And this is a rotation in the hip. Got to contract your seat to make that happen. Belly in to help hold those legs up. Thighs are working hard. Okay. And then we'll put those legs down. Let's bring the hands here and let's do an arm fling. So flinging one arm back and watching the fingers with your eyes. Hand to the front and fling, and to the front, a fling, and to the front, and a fling, and to the front. Okay, now we're going to use our balls. So if you have a ball, you can do these exercises without the ball also. Please don't be intimidated. Okay, we're going to use these for some shoulder flexibility. It's kind of a lifelong effort to keep the shoulders flexible. And the balls are very helpful. So let's go ahead. We'll bring the ball forward and reach to one side. I'm not rotating my back. Trying to keep my chest mostly forward as I reach to each side for the shoulder motion. I'm going to add a little core as I go over and muscle to the center, over and muscle up, over and a muscling up, and a muscling up. Then for the elbows, in and fully straighten the elbows. So it's into the chest and a full straightening. We don't want to reach back is staying straight. It's all the elbow straightening that we're thinking about with that. And then we're going to leave it out. Feet are planted, knees and feet equally separated, and around. Kind of remember for class that plant of the feet and the knees separated are very important to keeping your body alignment without any twisting or extra forces into the knees or the back. Okay, now we're going to bring this in. I'm going to put my hands on front of my belly or my ball, and then I'm just going to give a push, pulling my elbows back, not out, but elbows back right along my sides. This is flattened against my belly, and then I'm going to turn one way and turn the other way. So I'm using my upper back muscles. My shoulders are really wide, elbows pulling back. So twist and twist. And now for flexibility, I'm going to bring my hands up and I'm going to go over one leg and touch my toes. I'm going to dangle and stretch momentarily. Reach out and lift with your back muscles. Then we'll go to the other side. Over and touch, reaching out and a lift. And then we're just going to take a moment to relax the arms and shoulders. A light swing. Move your feet back together. And then we're going to bring the ball out and pull the belly in, contract your seat muscles, and then we're going to twist and touch the back of the chair. So bend the elbows, touch, kind of a punch, and a twist. A core strengthener with that punch and twist. We're going to bring it out. We're going to turn. Now my arms are straight. I'm turning this like a steering wheel. I'm trying to get rotation in my wrist, elbows, and shoulders. Keep all fingers on the ball. Okay, and then I'm going to separate it, and I'm going to do a roll and catch. And this is about reaching to the floor. So we use both hands. So you have to really turn and reach. Roll toward one foot, turn and reach. Both hands pick it up and bring it into your belly. Down, roll, catch, and up. Down, roll, catch, and up, using two hands for everything. Catch and up, down, roll, catch. Let's just stay on the floor. And for the core muscles, we're going to do a big circle. So you're going to take your hands out to the side, overhead, the other side, and down, and we're going the other direction. Over, around, over, and down. And then for just back strength, we're going to reach out. Now use your back muscles to lift you up. Kind of go slow. Use those back muscles. Okay, and we'll bring the feet in. Arms down and breath in. And out. Breath in. And out. And we're done with the ball for today. We're going to get our mats and get ready to go on the floor. So, and this is where we're going to do our extra work on core. Get our mat on the floor. You want your chair near. So to get to the floor, sometimes you just do whatever works for you. I was going to use a walk out, but you can use the chair to do a kneel like we did toward the beginning of class, if that's what works for you best. If you kind of have flexibility, we'll stand at the end of the mat, not like if you're just able to try something different. We're going to bend the knees, stick the seat out, shoulders are still wide. We're going to curl the back and then uncurl. So curl, look toward your hips, and uncurl. Great strengthener. Now we're going to curl and hold it and then reach down to the toes. Knees are bent, and then walk the hands forward. And we want to end up hands and knees on the floor. Now for myself, I'm grabbing my weights. You could use your fist. If your wrists hurt by being that flat on the floor, you can grab your weights. Then your wrists don't have to extend as far. Or you could go on your fist, which is a nice extra balance challenge. Or you could just be your hands flat, if that works for you. Knees are separated about hip width apart. You want your knees right under your hips. You want your hands right under your shoulders. Okay, and we're going to do that kind of cat-cow movement here, where we pull the belly in, look toward your hips, look forward, and let your belly sag and your back arch. Pull in, strong contraction, and relax. And then we're going to go to neutral. So pull the belly in and think of flattening your back. And we're going to use the arms. We're going to take one arm out to the side, kind of look out, and then reach that arm underneath you and look in the other direction. Arm out. So if you're sitting in a chair, this is a rotation of your trunk. Look in the opposite direction, and one more of those. Turning, looking out to the side, reaching through, and reaching to the other side. And then let's trade hands. Watch out for your chair. Now out to the side with the turn and reaching under and looking the other way. Or reach out and through and reach out and through. And then we'll put the hands there. Now we are going to turn over onto the back. So we can, I'm going to move my weights out of the way and lay down and turn over onto the back. And there's some pretty specific instructions coming up here. We're going to have the knees bent, and the way this works to actually strengthen your core, especially your belly, is that you contract your belly and push your low back toward the floor. So your hand almost can't get through if you try to reach past your low back. So it may not flatten totally, but as much as you can get it. And then you contract your belly, urinary and seat, to hold it there. What we're going to do is put the hands, palms down at your side, and if you're in a chair, you can slide your seat forward, but keep your shoulder blades back on the chair. And we're going to do a little march. So we're going to raise our knees, make that tabletop position like this. Contract to keep your low back flat, and we're going to tap one foot down and up, and then the other foot down and up. So it's a tap and lift, a tap and lift. Very good for the abdominal muscles. And a tap and lift. Now, If that's been successful for you, you could try both feet down into lift. Since now your muscles are lifting twice as much weight, or you could continue with your one leg at a time. Should not have any pain. So, but trying to use these muscles, keeping your low back down toward the floor, tap and lift, tap and lift, tap and lift, tap and lift. And then slowly we're going to return the feet to the floor and draw those heels in closer to your seat. And we're going to now work on the seat and back muscles. Hands stay in the same position, and we contract the seat and lift up and then lower down. And as you lower down, try to lower down with that flatter back. Let's contract the seat, lift up, belly button toward the ceiling, strong seat contraction. And as you lower, think of rolling down. First your middle back, getting down, lowering your back. Keep your seat lifted as your low back comes down, and then your seat. Just kind of rolling down like that. Okay, now we're going to lift up again, seat coming up, get nice and tall, and then we're going to do a march. So this will really use these muscles on the back of the body. A lift and lower, a lift and lower. Lift one knee, lift the other knee. Come back, lift the seat a little more because it'll start to sag, and do a march again. Lift, two more, a lift. Keep the seat lifted, and last leg, and then we'll unroll to lower down. Okay, we're going to widen the legs now. We're going to reach out to the sides, and we're going to, each foot is kind of toward the outer edge of the mat, and then we'll let our knees rotate, but the shoulders stay down to stretch the hips and the low back to the center, and let your knees fall the other way. Take a deep breath while you're rotated. Okay, and then we'll come back to the center, and then if possible, want to use a strengthener to get back up to the seated position. So the way we've done this in the past is grabbing one knee, straightening the other leg, tuck your chin so it doesn't strain your neck, and then we kind of rock up and slowly rock back down. Let's change legs. So it's one leg up, tuck your chin, and kind of get a feel for rocking yourself up. That takes a lot of coordination and strength. Okay, then we're going to come back to our hands and knees to get up. Chair close by. So you can use your chair, come to a lunge, tuck your back toes, and then you're in a position. You can use your chair, use your thigh, or you may not need to use your hands at all to rise up. To get up from the floor. Most people with the chair for help can do really well getting up and down to the floor. Now we're going to get our shoes on and get ready to do some lunges and use our weights. And the shoes are to keep your feet from slipping. And you'll want your chair, because we usually lunge with the weights, and just need a chair close by in case you need help. I'm going to warm up my arms a little bit. I'm going to put the elbows at my sides, and I'm going to do it back and forth like this, kind of a knife edge, like I'm chopping with my hands. And then keeping my elbows in, keeping my core contracted, my feet facing forward. I'm going to speed it up and slow it down. Then I'm going to spin out and in and out and in. I'm going to come up here, go up and down further, and up and down. I'm going to come up and I'm going to close and open. A breath in, a breath out, close, open, a breath in, and then all the arms coming down and out. Okay. Let's start with a strengthening in the rotator cuff. And we're going to do a seat kick. It's going to be very similar to earlier in class, but if you have weights and your shoulders are okay with it, to use your weights. Where we come out to the side like this, we're standing within reach of the chair, and we're going to kick one heel toward the seat as we come up and up. And as you find your balance with that, keep your knees close together and even point your toe, and let's try a double just once. Kick, kick, down, kick, kick, down. And then we'll bring the weights into the side, and we're going to drop the hands. Let's circle back. And let's even take some breaths as we rotate and loosen in the body. Okay, and then we're going to add a little weight for our toe raises. This foot strength is just very important for everyday walking. So I'm here if I need to put a weight out to the chair. I'm going to go up and down on my toes. And then I'm going to add a biceps curl. So the elbows stay in, weight to the shoulders, and down. And I'm going up on my toes. Every time I bring the weights up, keeping my shoulders wide, keeping my elbows in. So my upper arms are kind of glued to my rib cage. Up and down. Just adding work for the arches and the calves, but also the biceps. Up and down. Circle your shoulders back. Okay, and we're going to go to a forward lunge with some rotation. So here, let's put one weight down. So we'll use both hands on one weight. If you have 2-pound weights, you could probably hold both of them. But if you have a 5-pound weight, you probably want to go down to one. We'll do a forward lunge, as I stand toward the back of the chair. Flat foot forward, ball of the back foot. I'm going to hold the weight with 2 hands. I'm going to square up my hips, add my core, make sure my shoulders are back over my hips, and the weight in the front heel. That's what you think of with the lunge. Let's nudge a few times. Get comfortable in your lunge, and then we're going to touch the knee and take the weight up and out. And you want to be using these muscles in this part of your belly to do that twisting. And then the arm strength, bringing it up and out. And let's go the other direction twice. Up and out. So there's some twist there. And up and out. And push off your front heel, and we'll come back. Okay, Let's go to the other side. Front step, follow the back foot, nudge, nudge, add your core to the knee and out to the side. And if you can shift your gaze, that adds a balance challenge to that. And we might go the other way, out to the side and in, and out to the side, and then off the front heel, coming back. We're going to do a forward lunge again, alternating feet. We've already done some, so we're trying to get in our 15 lunges on each leg. Here we're going to do a figure 8. And you want to feel that right in the middle of the belly. Let's step back. And the other leg, flat foot, square up, shoulders back over your hips, weight in the front heel, and figure 8, feeling it right at, kind of just at the belly button and above. Then off of the front heel, and we'll step back. And we'll pick up our other weight, and we're going to do some side lunges. So we can work on triceps also. So you want to be behind your chair. Move my chair so you can see. And we do that step to the side, not a large step. And then we shift our weight over that foot. So, and then we hinge at the hip. So seat back, chest forward. We're going to pull the elbows back. Weights end up right at your rib cage. And then we're going to straighten one arm and bend, and straighten the other arm and bend. Push the seat forward. And then we try to gracefully step up and back to the center. We'll go to the other side step. Hinge. Let's tap. Weight all over on one leg. Pull the elbows back. Straighten one arm, pushing the weight back. Straighten the other arm. Hips forward. Back to the center. Other side. Hinge. Tap, tap. Elbows pulled back using your between your shoulder blades. Straighten and straighten. Hips forward. Carefully back to the center. Off to the other side. A hinge. Elbows come back. A straighten and a straighten. Hips forward and back to the center. Let's do a rotation. And a rotation where the weights come front and back. So still using some shoulder muscles. I'm bending my knees a little and going back and forth and then back to center. Okay. I would like to do, we're going to put our weights down. Okay. We're going to open and close in the hands, so that open, spreading the fingers, really separating the fingers, and close. Hold your arms out to the front, open and close, open and spread and close. Let's open and spread, take them out to the side, relax your fingers, and then let's circle in the wrist. Okay, and we'll bring the arms down and we'll do our 5 deep, vigorous breaths. Palms forward, pulling back. Contract your core in through the nose, out through the mouth. And whatever you need to loosen up. Okay. I think we did a good job of catching everything. It's great to see you all. I'm just trying to unmute. Just takes a moment.
Thanks, Lisa.
You're welcome. You're
Have a
welcome.
great day.
Thank you. So, could I mention something about Thursday's class? I'm
Certainly.
I'm just knowing a lot of people with flu.
Oh,
So I'm going to bring masks. I'm going to wear a mask. So, but feel free to wear a mask because,
well, nobody who has the flu should come.
oh,
That's
they aren't.
serious.
They aren't, but you just don't know right away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll see if we show up. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you. Take care.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, Carol.
Thank you.
Nice to see people. Bye.